We have CA Anurag Chaturvedi all the way from Dubai, who heads the ICAI Dubai Chapter. Hi Anurag, how are you?
I'm good.
You head the ICAI Dubai Chapter, you are in Dubai. What role does a global collaboration play in inclusive growth? One, in the profession itself, and two, in like business growth as well. How is that help?
So, if you look into the ICAI fraternity as a whole, we have a second largest professional body in the world, and I'll say largest professional body in the world, where the accountants are all around the world. So, Dubai chapter, if I say in Dubai, there are 10,000 chartered accountants, and Dubai, these 10,000 chartered accountants supports Fortune 2,000 businesses in the UAE. Now, these 2,000 businesses essentially covers nearly two-thirds of the economic growth of the country itself, where the chartered accountants are playing significant role. So the model that ICAI has taught every single member that qualified as a chartered accountant is critical element is trust, right, and accuracy. That's what we need to ensure that precision is into place, and we deliver that quality all around the world, and that's how ICAI is growing and our professionals are accepted world over.
Coming to technology, there's so much talk of technology today, and you give some insightful bits about technology and how it's helping the profession itself as well. There is a certain set of skill development that is required, right? So in a survey, it was said that in Middle East also about 76% of accountants said that they would like to upskill and reskill. And in India as well, there were about 85% of people who said who wanted to upskill. What is your take on that, and how important do you think it is, and what would be your recommendations for some of the new and budding CAs?
I think it is something that we can't live without it. So today technology is oxygen of the life. So without oxygen you can't function, you can't live together, right? So every chartered accountant need to embrace. And if I can say that, my journey also in India when I qualified as chartered accountant begins along with your product Tally. So let's take example, Tally I don't consider as a technology. I consider it something that without which accounts cannot run. So it's like accounting begins with Tally, right? So accounting begins with Tally, and you have all those tools and techniques which if a chartered accountant master or any accountant master, you understand the holistic view of finance an accountant should ideally have. And I think this is where I will recommend every chartered accountant or every accountant, not chartered accountant per se, to embrace their understanding on a product like Tally, so that you see the holistic function of the finance from start to end. And that's where you can start unleashing your potential for real growth.
I'm sure you interact with a lot of businesses, you give them great advice, right? For a business owner who is expanding their business, for instance, what would be your one advice for that kind of a business?
So the businesses who are expanding their business model, the critical thing I will say that you need to identify how do you integrate all the resources, because without resources you can't expand. Because one of the resource, let's say for example your material planning or your inventory planning or your procurement planning or your financial modeling, if any of these tools, this is one of the resources, right, on basis of which you take critical decision making. So if those decisions are not aligned towards your objective, I think somewhere around you may fail. So identifying all these resources available to you, effectively coinciding and collating them together, and then finding a solution which can integrate them together to give you seamless advice is critical. So identify right resource, right system integrators, right platform and resources, combine them together to unleash again your growth aspirations ahead.
What are some of the biggest challenges that you think business owners face when adopting technology? One, from what I've read, is the cost, the investment that goes into adopting new and latest technology. But have you come across any other challenges that business owners commonly face when coming to adoption of technology?
Nobody in the world can know every single thing. Nobody can master every single part of it. So when it comes to technology, you need to rely on the advice of the people who are technology evangelists, because they know the product. Number two, if you believe that when you take the technology, it will gonna reduce your cost, no, that may be a wrong notion itself. People need to see that why you're taking technology to grow your business. When business growth happens, you need to put more processes, more control, more people around it to run that function. and then optimize your resources to generate more and more business. So setting the right expectation, knowing your limitations, and relying on the right opinion of the people, I think that's what I will say, the critical for business who are adopting technology.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for spending your time here with us.